All right, hey guys, welcome to another customer interview that I have with my customer here, Danny. Danny, why don't you start off by just introducing yourself? Tell us a little bit about what you do, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am an agency owner. I run an independent agency here in the Bay Area in California, and so I'm very, very niched in my market. I utilize, you know, um, products and instruments that are governed by, in the insurance world, but we're very, very clear about our mission and in helping people really plan for future retirement and really help them graduate from tax deferred to tax free. So that, in a nutshell, is my focus, and I really think that the lead gen type of activity is exactly the market of people that are looking for exactly what we do. So it's a good synergy.
Okay, so in terms of lead gen, like what were you doing before? I guess, before working with me, like what were you doing? What were your ways to get clients, and how were you generating your leads that way?
Yeah, just like anyone else, I believe it's just your typical organic type of um, outreach, whether it be just your average warm market
Uh-huh.
referrals, and a little bit of social media, right? LinkedIn has been one of the big proponents of outreach, generating credibility, optimizing your profile that way, sending
Mm-hmm.
outbound campaigns, utilizing software. So there's a little bit of automation there, but I think the process was very not that it didn't work. It's just
Mm.
it was more of a kind of a passive feel to it
What do you
because you
mean
had to,
passive?
because you had to convince the prospect or potential client that they have a problem.
Mm.
Lead gen, in general, they are identifying their problem, and really they're reaching out into the world or into the universe for someone to help them with the problem. And so when you make that connection, you don't have to really waste a lot of time proving your worth or credibility, and
Mm-hmm.
convincing them that they have a problem. That takes, a tremendous amount of effort in it by itself, is to convince you that you even have a problem
Do you
in the
have a
beginning.
problem?
If people go to the doctors, they walk in there wanting to see a doctor or a specialist. And
Yeah.
before I even talk to any of these individuals, the tremendous amount of time savings is that they've already
Yeah.
identified that they have a problem.
So it's very interesting. Like before we get into lead gen, I'm actually more curious about the way that you're getting leads on LinkedIn and how you, so what's your, let's say you get on a call with them. How do you convince them that, hey, this is the problem right now? Like what's a, and I'm sure if you don't mind sharing, but like what's the process that you take them through?
Typically it's a lot of Q&A, right? Number one
Okay.
is, have you ever been, taught how to go from like tax deferred to tax free? And a lot,
Right.
that's just one example, right? And it's typically just asking some triggered questions to figure out and identify pain,
Yep. You
right? Just to is there
find that
pain?
thing.
Is there
Yeah.
pain? Is there a need? If there
Mm,
is no pain, there's no need. There's no conversation. And I want to make sure that I can quickly transition into someone that's the authority on the call or in the conversation versus someone trying to pitch them an idea.
mm.
Yeah.
And then you find that pain, and then once you have that, then you
Yeah, and
ask
then
more
we
questions
just
to
you walk them through a process. Like, doesn't make sense for us to hop on a quick
a longer
a
call.
quick call to figure
As
out whether or not this
you could help to.
this type of program or strategy or even philosophy even is a good fit. So I'm
Okay.
very quick to take it away from them,
Yeah.
before I even give them anything.
Right.
What we do, Dickie, is not information. It's not just giving people information, right? That's just what customer service is for. What we
Hmm.
do is consultation.
Finding the problem and
Consultation and personalization is the biggest difference in the tax-free world versus information, where, and I say this a lot too, um, The difference between tax-free and tax-deferred is that tax-free requires personalization and consultation. Tax-deferred requires two things: a pulse, and if you're an employee, a paycheck. That's it.
Easy.
You're just sheep herded into that with no idea. And you're just, you have the cross your fingers, hope and pray strategy. So our guys in our agency, we attract, so we don't go out there aggressively and go, recruit new agents in a manner that feels slimy or MLM-ish or like that, because we attract the ones that are already looking to be around high producers, ninja assassins in our world, right? We are the specialists amongst specialists. And even in this game, relative to lead gen, this is a very, very unique niche, right? Finance is a very broad term. Even personal finance is a very broad term, right? Yeah. Here, it's even more and more, it's very niche, and we make no mistake. We let people know right away that, look, if you're looking for this, and that's not what we do. We're very, very focused in our outcome. So
yeah. And I guess that's what you were doing before. I guess let's transition to the next question. Like, what was kind of like your experience in terms of like lead gen when you're working with us? Like, what's kind of like that experience for you?
Yeah. Let me give you the objective, an answer. Number one, you have to have a good maturity about the process and know that it is a numbers game. But the coolest thing about lead gen in general is that every single one of these people have one thing in common. They've all decided to expose their pain, right? And their need to solve it. And so now it's just a matter of their priority and how soon they want to fix the problem, right? Before, I have to convince them that they have a problem.
To convince them, hey, you have a problem.
You have a problem. Oh, I did. Yeah. Really? No one's ever told me, Now, the common denominator is that they all have identified a problem and seemingly a need to fix it. Now, it's just a matter of identifying who's on the threshold of seriousness where you connect with them in that scale, so my experience has been really, really good, because I like that, because I'm super seasoned in helping people identify that they even have a problem, right? I know that world, I know that language, but it's a breath of fresh air just in general to speak with people that have said, yep, I have a problem and I know that there is a solution, but I've never really been taught the solution. I don't even know if the solution is real. So when they come to you with that already, I want to say 90% of the work is already done. Now,
I would say that's a easier sell than the first kind of when you have to educate them about the problem. And I'm not saying that it's going to be an easy sell. It still takes a lot of salesmanship. You still need a lot of skills, but it just takes the heavy lifting part out of the equation, right?
I agree.
And since you refer us, I think you referred like a couple of agents as well in our program, and you've been with us for quite a while. I guess for anyone who's pretty much on the fence, hey, I don't know if I trust this dude, this funny Asian looking guy with the glasses. Like, what would you say to, I guess, what would you say to yourself? Like, I get back in the days, it's like half a year ago, like, what would you say to yours? Hey, is this guy legit? Like, what would you say to these agents? Like, how are you presenting me in front of your guys? I guess that's
so, because I'm already the crazy Asian guy in my world, right? I'm like, hey, you should meet the other crazy Asian guy with the glasses.
With the glasses, yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's not a question of legitimacy. It's a question of how serious do you want to take, you investing in you and your business, right? Number one, you need to, I think diving into lead gen, you need to make some serious, you need to do some serious auditing of yourself first, right? If you had a bunch of, lead flow coming to you, are you prepared and confident enough to actually work them and actually, address, credibility, moral authority, expertise, because that person is going to talk to someone, which is you, and they're hoping that you're the best. And whether or not you are, you're going to have to really recalibrate your attitude that that you are, right. And so you need to be prepared. So again, it's not a matter of legitimacy or credibility. I just think it is like, this is what it is, right? I think if people just this is the new normal, I believe, in this world. If you don't have a consistent pipeline, that's the biggest problem most people have, right? Is lack of pipeline or lead flow, right? Because even if you bomb and you don't convert, a lot of the lead gen, it's going to be an invaluable tool for you to really grow and build your skill set, your confidence, right? It forces you to now be even more knowledgeable about your craft, your process, and even product knowledge, because you're going to get tons of questions. And so those are, the invaluable at bats. You need at bats. You need to identify what your averages are. If you're just having onesies and twosies here and there, you're really not giving yourself an opportunity to grow in your business. And if this is the chosen, niche or specialty that you want to pursue, then, I think that forcing the lead flow and the activity is probably the best way to do it, right? You can only do so many mock, trainings with conversations, but, hey, I mean, you're tossed, you're tossed into the fire, and it forces you to be even better. And I think that, these conversations with lead gen in general have even calibrated and fine-tuned my process, and has forced me to be a better, not only, agent per se, but a better business owner, and mentor to, the agents that we do have in our agency. So
yeah, awesome. So for anyone who's interested, to working with you, or agents that's, looking for a, new place to be, like
sure.
where can they find you, and how
Yeah,
could they,
absolutely.
get in touch
So
with you?
we are located here in the San Francisco Bay Area, but obviously it doesn't really matter proximity wise. You can be anywhere in the U.S. Because we do primarily everything virtually, even though we have a headquarter office, which is beautiful. You come and visit. You can find us at extreme1financial.com. X
Sweet.
with the letter X, XTREME, the number one financial.com. We have our own custom website, and it really, we are looking for, for
Agents
agents
and
that,
yeah.
have confidence, know what they're doing, but they want to take their activity and business to another level and be surrounded by other, high
Producers and
producers and ninja
yeah,
assassins that, are the best at what they do. Then we're
love it.
definitely open to having a conversation.
Love it. Well, thanks for being on the show, and keep crushing it, and let's go get it.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, man.